Hi all, so welcome to the today's tutorial. So today we are starting a new series, so I'm quite happy. So it is for the mathematics which we usually use in the game engine. So right now we usually use line, interaction, point, vectors, planes. So what are these actually like behind the bar? What is the mathematics behind it, and what are the algos? How do they work, and where we should when we should when we should use this algo, how we should use this algo. So we will cover all these topics from the scratch. It will be like the C++ in Unreal tutorial, and we will start from basic only, and we will cover all the advanced topic like beginner, mediator, and the advanced level thing. So we will cover it all. So today we will just check the basic thing, like what's the difference between the vector and the point. Then we will go inside the project, or I think we can directly dive into the project. We will start, then we will go to the differentiation. Okay, so I am in the 5.3, and for me, uh, I don't think I need anything out from the template, so it will be a blank template, but I will have the starter content in it because just to replicate everything out to show everything to you. So I should have something, uh, so I can have starter content, and I will go with the C++ one. Okay, so I'll just uh, give it a name. Uh, Math guide for game programming. Okay, uh, math guide, and that should be it. And just press create. I don't think it will take long. Okay, the project is up. I don't want anything in my level, so we will start from scratch. So it's file, new level, and I just want basic. We can also choose empty one, but we will go with the basic. I will just save it, and right now we don't have anything. And first I will just replace the name called asset instead of a starter content. Okay, and for the map I will have a new folder, maps, and default map. Just save. So this is what I usually do. I keep my hierarchy, folder hierarchy neat and clean. So we will have all the things in perfect place. We'll have one more few more folders. Okay, so Control Shift N is not working for me. I'm not sure why. So let's go like this. Maps core. This will be mainly for if we will use the character, uh, game mode, and the play state, game states for those. For all others, we'll have the blueprint. This like all the other classes which we will be creating, we will place them here. I always keep like core and my blueprint to have the blue color, asset to be the gray color, and what else? Map is yellow. So we can directly just choose, okay, like this will be this is the files where I will be keeping it. So, and in the project setting, map and modes, instead of open world, we will choose our default map and default map. So whenever we will open our project, it will spin up with this default map only. Okay, so for the today's topic, it is the differentiation between the point and the vector. So okay, so the difference between the point and the vector is like they represent is kind of same. So if I will click here somewhere, like so this is the grid, like this is the x-axis. I'm letting this as the x-axis and this as the y-axis, so it will be easy to visualize. If I will click somewhere here, like so this point is like 5 cross 0. If I will click Okay. Uh, okay. So let me delete this. So when I'm clicking somewhere here, so it is creating a point. So point means like a space, like it's just a location inside a 2D graph or the 3D graph. Right now I'm talking about the 2D. So it doesn't have any direction, it's just a point. So if I do want to locate some location here, so the location of point D will be like 3 comma 3, right? So here I can see it is 3 comma 3. For point C it will be 5 comma 0. Whereas the vector is like a direction with some magnitude. So when I'm talking about this, like A, B, so these two are point, but we have a vector U. Vector means we have a length with direction. So I'm saying right now, the vector is starting from 0, 0, and this is going till, let's imagine here, I am pointing B as 4, comma 4. So the vector length will be like how much unit it is going. Right now when we are calculating it, it is like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 unit vector, right? If I will calculate it like this, it will be like 6 unit vector, and with direction, with some direction. Right now it is pointing to the y direction. Right now it is pointing to the x direction. When we will go it here, it have the 45-degree angle because it is touching like near about 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So it's like it's making the angle 45-degree. So it is pointing between x comma y. So when we represent a vector, it is by default in Unreal, we keep the end location. Like right now, if I will say, okay, there is vector B, let me delete extra point from here. Let me delete C also. So right now we just, okay, let me delete this. Okay, this is selection mode. Right now, this B point, right? If we are talking about just point B, it is like 5 comma 5. So this is a point. Okay, this is not 55. Okay, this is 5 comma 5. So here what we are doing, we are setting a location for B, but the vector itself is starting from 0 comma 0 to 5 comma 5. So vector is like from where it is starting to where it is going, and we will minus it. So the B location is like 5 comma 0, and A location is 0 comma 0. So the net vector will be like the vector which we are drawing from A to B. So we will do B minus A. So it will be like 5 minus 0, 5 minus 0. So it will be like 5 comma 5. And by default in Unreal, we always do it like this. So if we are representing some vector in Unreal, let's imagine if I'm keeping self value. I'm right now we are talking about in the 2D structure only. Let's imagine we are talking about a vector and I am giving the value of vector like 4 comma 1. If we are treating it as a vector, we can treat the same thing as the point in Unreal, and we can treat the same point to be a vector. The only difference it will be like when we are treating that it as vector, that means it will have some magnitude and it will have some direction. When we are treating the same thing with the point, it is just a location like this. Okay, now we have the clear understanding of vector and the point. So the same thing when we will see it in 3D, it will be something like this. The only difference between 2D and 3D is like in 2D you are having the x-axis, you are having the y-axis, and there will be z-axis too. So it will be like in depth. Right before when we were in the 2D, we were just talking about the 2D board, but now we have the 3D board. So the same thing is here. We are having three vectors here. So by default, the blue one, it is starting from 0, 0. So it is saying by default vector have their tail at the origin. So this is following the Unreal standard. So in Unreal, when we will define the vector, it will be like 3 comma 2 comma 1. So let's imagine if you do want to define one point inside Unreal, it will be like all, it will be the same like 3 comma 2 comma 1. The only difference is like how you do want to use it. When you are using it as the vector, you will just look at the length, like what will be the length between this point and the 0, comma 0 comma 0. Because when you are treating this as a vector, that means you are considering origin as the starting point of the vector. Now we are, let's imagine this point when we are taking here, the trailing is starting from 0 comma minus 2 comma minus 1. Give me a second, let me check. Nope, it is somewhere like minus 1. Z is minus 1, yes, and X is minus 2, and uh, X, Y, Z, and we have minus 2y. So this is the trailing. So we have the starting point, we have the ending point like 3 comma 2 comma 1. So X is, give me a second, let me check. 3 comma 2 comma 1. Okay, yes, give me a second, let me change it to 0 comma 0, so it will be same. Okay, can I do that? Add object, vector. We have added the vector 3 comma 2 comma 1. So we can easily visualize it. X is 3, y, when we will look at like this, y is 2, and z is somewhere about 1. So the origin is 0 0 0. When we will define one more vector, let's imagine 3 comma 3 comma 3 comma 3 comma 3. So it is making like this will be through D, right? So in 2D you can see like this is making exact 45-degree angle from left and right. And when we will consider Z, so it will be like this, exact same. But if you are looking carefully, the origin is like 0 comma 0 comma 0. So these are actually just the point. But when we will treat this point as a vector, that means we are considering starting point as 0 comma 0 comma 0. And let's imagine if I do want to start the same vector 3 comma 3 comma 3 uh, from x, like from this one, from this point. So this point will be like 0, for x it will be 1, so 1 comma 0 comma z, it will be like this. So here you when we are clicking this button, it will say the trail is like 0 comma 0 comma 0. If I do want to start from 1 comma 0 comma 0, so it will be like 1 comma 0 comma 0, and see that vector it just shifted. So right now also, if you are right now, it's just the starting point which we have changed, but the vector will remain the same. It will start exactly in the same location where it was pointing before. So in the vector side, when we are considering any vector, uh, it doesn't matter like from where we are starting, because vector will remain the same. So if I will open the paint, just to explain everything to you. Let's imagine if I am, making this vector like this. If I am making the same vector like this, so in theory, this vector is equals to like this is exactly same like this vector. Because when we are talking about a vector, we don't consider the starting value. The vector, it represent a magnitude, what is the length of the vector. So right now the length of this vector and this vector is same, and the direction which they are pointing to, they are also same. That means these two vectors are exactly same. Right now, like here also, if I will create one more vector like 3 comma 3 comma 3, so they have starting, they have the trailing point different. Like one is from the origin, one is from the 1 comma 0 comma 0, because this is 1 at the x-axis. It doesn't mean like these two are different vector, but these are the same vector, right? Okay, perfect. Do we have point? Yes. And when we will add some point, let's imagine 3 comma 0, 3 comma 3 comma 3. So the point, it doesn't have any length or direction or anything. It just a location inside the 3D graph. Perfect. Okay, so this was it from the theory perspective. In next tutorial, we will start coding our own vector classes, and you will get to know how we can draw them inside our Unreal Engine, and how we can calculate the magnitude, how we can check the direction and all. So thank you and have a nice day.